Okay, I was just trying to make sure. Oh, my camera angle. I'm trying to make sure that let's go like this. I'm trying to make sure there's at least enough light, so I guess I'll get close to it like this. I think it's the camera angle because I don't know. Like, I'm trying to make sure I have I don't know how do you explain it, like a clear angle. Trying to make sure I have a clear angle, and that's because I purposely want it to be dark, but of course I want it to be light enough for you to see me. It is alive. Like, I'm gonna try something real quick. Okay. Boom. I think my brother playing some music. I don't know. That shit is booming though. It's doing this. It's doing what it needs to do. Okay, I can't see myself though. That's a problem. Okay. I could do that. Okay. So yeah, obviously this is live. Okay. This is live. So I don't know why, but I know why, but I'm like laughing. I'm pretty sure you can hear me. I hope so, but this is live and I wanted to go live because what I was contemplating just kind of in my journal of thoughts. Um and I do. I speak out loud. And the reason why I allow myself to speak out loud and talk to myself out loud, it's not like I'm hearing voices or anything. I'm literally having an internal dialogue with myself so that I can be able to feel my emotions through whatever it is that's bothering me. It's something that I regularly practice. And it helps me because I don't want to be a person anymore that bottles up my emotions, bottles up how I feel, not be able to express myself because and sometimes you don't always have somebody that you can, talk to about how you feel and about what's bothering you or what makes you feel small or what you keep replaying in your head or what you wish you could have taken back what you said or what you wish you should have said or you know so vocalizing it out loud also allows me to rationalize actions because I feel like society acts first and chooses not to think later at all. Society just goes off of emotions, and that kind of scares me because it made me aware, that much more aware of how more, um, I guess you could say, utilitarian that I am in my actions because I think about the whole scope of people or person or community before I think about myself. What kind of self gratification needs to be put on the shelf because the ramifications of our actions can affect us and those around us in our community in ways um, that will change us in hurtful ways. It's like you can avoid a lot of pain. You can avoid a lot of heartache. You can avoid a lot of disappointment um, if we just think about the actions that we take and how they affect those around us. And that's the utilitarian in me. That is what that is. It's just basically like, okay, well, I don't want to take this action because, you know, I have loved ones, or I don't want to take this action because um, I don't want to affect somebody else outside of myself or outside of my family unit in a negative way. I think about those things. And so there's certain things that I could do, but I don't. And I think that's a part of me that's got that rigidity, but I don't mind it. As a moral soul standpoint, I don't mind it. It's some actions that I'm not going to take because I don't want it to negatively affect my loved ones or negatively affect, those outside of me. Um, and I like that I think about my actions in that way. That's one thing I do like about myself. And I think it's important for us to affirm what we do like about ourselves because we always spend so much time affirming out loud what we don't like about ourselves. And I think part of my shadow work is learning how to balance really taking care of yourself by sometimes we're 555 on the clock. Very Sometimes we're very hard on ourselves to the point where we use it as a measuring tool for success, and it ends up damaging our psyche. Like it ends up like, I think that, oh, you're fucking, if you tell yourself you're fucking ugly, you fucking suck. Some of us are saying negative affirmations to ourselves. It hurts to even like put that in the atmosphere because I know me, I would never tell myself that ever. And there's a difference between constructive criticism and negativity, you know? And because not everything that translates as negative to you is, some of it is constructive criticism. Apply it, okay? So, because light workers have egos too. I mean, so if I'm constantly speaking negative about myself and saying it out loud, um, and I'm using that to motivate me to be better, to do better, to show up as better, I'm never going to get the state of better. I'm never going to have contentment because we think what it's going to do is get us to that place of where we want to be and where we want to arrive and how we want to show up. I've done this before. It's just negative thinking. I've done this before. It can be fixed. Um, because it got fixed for me. Um, we think it gets us to the measuring place of where we are at perfection. But what it does is it further affirms our subconscious that perfection is not something that can be reached. And it absolutely can be reached. And the beautiful thing about it is it's not on societal terms. It's on your terms. Perfection is on your terms, not on societal terms. Okay? So with that, I just got to the point where I was like, okay, well, that's something, that an aspect of myself that I like, and I want to keep it that way. With that, I still respect other people's decisions to act however they want, because here's the thing about acting on feelings, it's 50-50. 50% of the time you are correct with your feelings, and that is, um, 909, that is a metaphysical or a spiritual aspect of yourself opening up. But 50% of the time, you're probably wrong as well. And it does depend on how more, ooh, how should we put this? The the thing that's popping in my head are the clairs, clairaudient, clairaudience. Um, I don't even know what are all the clairs. Let's take a trip down Google Land. But I clearly saw that, like, clear as day in my head. It was like all the clairs. Ah, here we go. The five main clairs, the sense. Uh, so they are clairvoyance means clear seeing, and it is what happens in your third eye. The third eye is the sixth chakra, and it's where we experience clairvoyance. It's in the anatomical eyes. So sometimes what I like to do is I have a black lipstick because I love black lipstick. And if I'm not wearing it, I'll draw like a cross in the middle of my two physical eyes. And I do that because it is so soothing to me. Sometimes I do it with like red lip liner, or no, like red matte lipstick. And it is so soothing because I think when it's red, I'm really like in this kind of auspicious, like Venusian type, I don't know, power feminine type feeling. And I'll talk about feelings versus actually having it, and probably in a different segment. But I do that, and when I do it with the black lipstick, it actually it feels very soothing. Um, I know black absorbs kind of negative energy, and I think like white bounces it off. But it feels like it absorbs the negative energy when I'm outside, and it never kind of hits me. I feel more confident when I have it on. I feel like I look very different when I have it on. I feel protected. So I don't, that's my thing. Clairaudience is the clear hearing or the message in your ears. Clairescience is a clear feeling. And so that's when you feel sensations in your body that match something that is going on in your life or in someone you know. Clear cognience is clear knowing. And that's when you just know something to be true, even though you didn't see it, hear it, or feel it. You just know it. It's like when one of the girls at work was pregnant and I got the hit that she was days before she announced it, or when a friend broke up and didn't announce it until days later. It's when you know, you just know. And then clear aliens, which means clear smelling. It is the fifth clear and not as common. So I actually have clear aliens because I just spoke about it in a previous upload, not alive and upload. So I didn't even know that existed. And it's like, oh, okay, that's confirmation. Thank you. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So yeah. So those are the five clairs. I'm gonna go back here. Okay. And we're back. Okay, now I can see myself. So those are the five clairs. Just realized that I had the fifth one and it was like it's one of the rarest. And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, I say all that and go through all that information to say this. This is a part of shadow work, affirming yourself and applauding yourself when you've made progress. And the point I'm trying to make is sometimes we can be so hard on ourselves and we can speak to ourselves negatively, subconsciously or out loud, that we think it's pushing us into our perfection when in actuality, it can push you into your detriment. And a lot of people do that because it's fear based. Sometimes it's scarcity based. Sometimes it's fear of. Um, Living out a condition worse than what you currently have and having like trauma from it. For example, childhood poverty. People who grew up in poverty can be so terrified of ever going back to poverty that they, are viciously ambitious when it comes to areas of finances or making sure that they grow their finances, just have it, or, it might be something that constantly consumes them. And instead of them having a balance in, personality or a balance in work life, hey, uh, so with that, it's good for us to have a balance because we can, with a balance of knowing when you need to get on your shit versus, um, when you're actually doing good and saying, hey, I'm doing a good job. This is what I like about myself. When I started saying this is what I like about myself, it felt so uncomfortable. I had such a bad feeling. It felt so strange. It felt weak. It felt pathetic. It felt I didn't know why I was feeling these feelings, but it was like, why would I say something good? And then I just started repeating good things about me. And now a lot of people would be like, you're super arrogant, you're super prideful. Let me be honest with you. I'm super open to criticism when it's actual criticism that is constructive, because constructive criticism for me is power. Because I need to take that, chew on it, and I need to figure out how to apply this to my life to make me better. That's lack of pride. When you can bow down and say, I'm not worthy, and it's okay to not be worthy because you're learning how to be worthy from someone who is. That's how I try to approach things. When you blatantly hating, I don't hear none of that. And I pray to God, I pray to Holy Adonai El Shaddai. I pray to God that He renews my spirit and cleans out my heart like David prayed in Psalms 51. I pray that so that I know the difference between me getting in the way of me, my flesh, my pride, which really ain't mine. I don't even claim it. Do I know it's there? Yeah, everybody has some, but it's really not mine. And I pray that God renew my spirit so that I can have discernment and know what's me versus what's bias. So that's just how I look at it. And because I know a lot of things be biased, I was just like, I don't even acknowledge it. So I think it's a balance. I think you have to have a balance between what you like about yourself, what you can improve on, and actively work that out. It's going to feel yucky in the beginning, but you'll get used to it. Bye for now. I just wanted to. I'm so happy about how this lighting came out. Like, I'm so happy about how this lighting came out.